In 2021, in collaboration with UK Research and Innovation and the Arts and Humanities Research Council, we distributed £600,000 to 14 museums across the UK through the Digital Innovation and Engagement Fund. The grants were designed to help them build on and evaluate the digital methods they developed to enable community engagement during the COVID-19 pandemic. The fund has highlighted some of the best methods of digital engagement and practice in the sector and enabled us at the MA to ensure that we can support other museums to evolve their own digital skills and practice.
This project is working with the Grange School for Autism, and it's trying to understand how the sensory engagement with objects is helpful to those group of children.
A big one for our kids is meeting new people and learning how to interact with new people. Going to a museum, which for a lot of them could be a really daunting thing. It's a big space, it's sometimes echoey and noisy. To have these links where they can have the opportunities to access the community in a more supported manner is really exciting for all of them.
People in Blackhall can't always travel outside of the village, so we thought, well, why not bring the artefacts to Blackhall?
We hadn't really engaged with Blackhall very much prior to this project, so Street Museum was a great opportunity to establish some links there.
We couldn't take our delicate, precious artifacts from our museums, but through 3D scanning and 3D printing, it suddenly gave us a new way that we could take these amazing artifacts and put them right into people's homes who wouldn't normally see them.
The project was the African and Caribbean Collections Research Hub, and the point of it was to bring our collections from behind closed doors out into the community, but specifically to the African and Caribbean community, to be able to use the collections that we have to tell their own stories and to contribute their own community knowledge, and to make the collections more accessible and more visible.
The technology I've been developing, digital touch replicas, are accurate copies of objects that have touch-sensitive areas in them.
The fact that the mask is tactile, it's hands-on, means that it's much more accessible to our kids. It means they don't have to read, they can have it read to them. So those who also have dyslexia and ADHD, those sort of things, who struggle to maintain concentration on a piece of writing or something like that, can now access it in different ways, which is really, really, really exciting.
Ollie, the teacher, worked with the kids to look at the information that was available. They then worked with that material to make up their own content.
We held lots of workshops in the community centre, and we got everybody to bring along one object that told a story about them.
Which then informed the objects that were chosen, objects that related to the mining history or the hard work or the role of the woman.
We came up with a final list of 22 objects that we felt really resonated with the community. And we had those objects scanned and 3D printed using the latest photogrammetry techniques.
And ultimately, people were so engaged with it, they wanted to put artefacts in their window. We created a treasure trail that became the community centre. They got a map and they had to go and find all the different artefacts in different houses, shops.
We had aims, goals and objectives to set up a community research hub that would engage from a community-led perspective. So we had a series of meetings discussing different objects, the language, and we had speakers that came in as well. We got training, we learned skills. I don't think there's anything really like it that's been done before that we know of.
I done a project last week called the Windrush Generation, and we had different age groups and they spoke about what it all meant to them, and it was really nice because we got to hear 3 different stories from 3 different generations. It's going to go on the community hub space so that everyone can see it for the community. Projects like these, you get more people to come and visit, enjoy and get involved. The main thing, get involved.
So the experiences they've had have been massive for them, and the level of interest in the museum has shot up since we've been doing the project. And the more children we can give these opportunities to, obviously the better. In that way, there's a huge amount still that the kids can achieve out of it, but also put into it and give back to the museum as well.
I think because the community told us this is how to reach our audiences, and the project was flexible enough to let us do that in the way they wanted, that's why it was a success.
I think the project allowed us to build a meaningful relationship with Blackhall Community Centre. That's continued long after the project. And it's really informed a lot of our ideas and planning for other engagement activities to better serve places like Blackhall.
There's a lot of people of different heritage now, and they may never travel to their country of heritage, but within the museum there's a lot of heritage that they can access and understand, and they can research the items and like telling the stories about them so the community can share those stories so they're not hidden.
I think the message to funders would be fund more of these projects longer term so we can continue having these great outputs and have more of a legacy.